Here's my 440 T4 transmission. Came out of a 89 Cutlass Sierra. I'm going to go ahead and clean it up a little bit and take it apart. And I'll show you what I do just to get the bulk of it clean is just take a screwdriver and just go around and just knock off all the big stuff. And then I'll take my wire brush, just put it on this gun and just run across it real lightly. Just knock off the little bit that was left behind from the screwdriver that the screwdriver couldn't get. So then I'll start taking it apart. Alright, I got the bulk of it clean. The rest of it will come off real easy with a brake cleaner and a rag. So all that little splatter will wipe down with the little brake cleaner. So I got the bulk of it off. I'll go ahead and clean it a lot better when I've got everything unbolted. Alright, I'm going to take your vacuum modulator off. A clip, modulator, and one bolt. That's what it looks like. Once you take the accumulator out, you want to be sure you take the little piston out and go just like that. And so just take a magnet and just pull it on out and keep this with your accumulator. Alright, take your speed sensor off. Alright, and then take your gear out. Move. Alright, ready? Alright, take the pan off. Take your filter off. And take your filter off. Alright, take your accumulator bolts off, and the two that hold this on. Your clip that holds this pipe on, just push it in and pull the clip out of the inside of the casing. And all this should pull up. And then take your springs and rod out. Just take note that one spring's shorter than the other. And the longer one is going to go in the front, and the shorter one is going to go in the back towards the back of the pan. Alright, we're going to remove the lube pipe first. We're going to just lift this up, and you got a spring under there. Be sure you get the spring and put it back with your lube pipe and set it to the side. In the scavenging scoop, just take the two bolts off. Then you should be able to take these two pieces off and set them to the side. This is your 1-2 servo. Just be sure and get that snap ring out. Alright, now you got that out, snap ring. Then you get some pliers on your 1-2 servo end. Just kind of rock it back and forth and it'll pop off. Alright, once it's popped back, you get down to the O-ring. And then you just cut it off. Grab the end and just pull it out. And we'll help it a little bit and spin this around some more. There it goes. Alright, take your cover off. Spring, pin, that's it. Alright, take your transmission cover bolts off and take your smaller bolts that are here, take them off, and each of these have a washer. If they don't come off, you can pick out the washer with a little pick. Be sure you keep these together. Okay, the bracket that holds your lines on right there, take the two mounting bolts off, take your bracket off, then loosen up your transmission lines, and then just move those to the side, out of the way. Take your bracket, set it to the side, and your pan, take it off. Okay, there we go. Alright. Alright, take your little bar and just push down a little bit on the servo cap, and then get your ring, your snap ring out. It ain't gonna take much pressure to push the cap down. Work your... Okay. Alright, it should be a... Okay, should be a little ring right here. Old ring. Take your ring out. Cut it. You can help get the ring out by just spinning this cap. It won't pull out. Are you recording? Alright, now once you got this out, alright, take your cap off. And your spring, keep all that together. That's it. Alright, you want to take your wiring harness off the sensors. So you have your first one, only has one clip on the side. You just pry this back just a little bit and wiggle this off, because it's only got one side that holds on. And then you want to ease these off. The green wire is going to go to that one, and this one here. Go here. Okay, and then you take it off these little clips, and then just set it to the side. right now. We'll remove it later. Okay, 3 torque head bolts. You got a 27 here, a 30 here, and a 40 here. You got 3 40 torque head bolts here, 1, 2, 3, and the rest of these are standard head bolts. Just break all those loose, and it should lift right up. Okay, here we go. Got it, Harley? Mm-hmm. Okay. Alright, I took these 2 bolts off on the other half of the pump here. Took the star head bolt out. Now you should be able to take this half of the pump off. Okay. Alright, taking the valve body off. There's a clip that holds these 2 lines onto the valve body. When you remove this clip, you'll see that it's inset where the head of the bolt, star bolt, sets in. That end goes out. There's a little ring that's up, that goes to the valve body, just like that. And you got your star head bolt that goes inside there, just like that. Okay, I'll loosen up all the valve body bolts. You've got 2 torque head bolts here. Alright, before you take your valve body off, you're going to have to take this linkage off. That linkage is hooked onto here, which is hooked onto your valve body. Just pull this straight off. There's a little, the rod's bent right there. You just pulled it straight down. Before you can take your valve body off, you need to pull this 1 bolt out that holds your linkage. You just need to tilt the bottom out a little bit and just pull this off like that. And this needs to be removed before your valve body can be removed, because your linkage here goes through your casing. Okay, I got all of them loose, all the bolts loose. I'm ready to take the valve body off. You should be able to pull this thing right up. Off. Once you take your valve body off, you'll have a spacer plate. If it comes off with the valve body, you're going to need to take it off because it has ball bearings. But you're going to have a gasket and a plate on your valve body. So you've got check ball here, check ball here, check ball here, check ball here. And you just remove this off your casing. You have a filter here and a dowel pin here, and anything else that was supposed to be with this may be on the back of the valve body. Then you have some check balls here. You have one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here, and one here, one here, and one here. Okay, you have one here. Okay, then you have one here, one here, 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 here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You see any more? No, that's it. You're going to have 8 check balls, and that was it. You ready? Take your oil drive shaft out and just pull it out right in here. Alright, we need to remove this linkage right here. What you need to do is just pull this spring back. and then you'll be able to just remove the linkage from your valve body, just like that. And just let that hang out right there. Alright, we're good. We're going to take off the bottom half of the valve body, which is also called the channel plate. Okay. Got everything loose. You should be able to pull this thing right up. Fuck, what was that? Okay, you got the bottom plate off. Go ahead and take your springs, pistons here. Take them off. And you got one here. Be sure you get the rod, spring, and piston. Be sure all that is together. And set it with your plate and ready for the next step. Alright, once you got your springs out, be sure you take your little plastic piece here that sits in there. Go ahead and take it out. Alright. These fourth clutch plates I'm going to remove, which are these. Alright, remove your snap ring. I see it. Okay, once you got your little lock ring out, you should be able to take your hub and shaft out. Now it should be able to slide right through, because this is what's going to, this snap ring is going to keep this from coming out. Step back a few steps. Alright, let's go ahead and take your thrust washers off. There's one here. And then there's one here. Just be sure you take note, this one's flat, the flat side down. You got your three lips here facing up, so flat down on this one, and your three prongs are going to go, or your four prongs, 1, 2, 3, 4 prongs are going to go in these 4 holes right there. So this one down, 4 prongs down, and your 3 prongs on this one's going to go up. Alright, you got your little C-clip here. If you look down in there, it goes at the end of that shaft going through that center of that sprocket, okay? And I'll show you with this screwdriver. It's going to go right here, where the tip of this pick is. That C-clip goes around that shaft right there, and it keeps that shaft from coming out. So you'll have to take the ends and push them out. You use this area of the transmission and take 2 screwdrivers down in there on each end of this and push it down, and then spin the shaft around like this. You see the shaft spinning, and you just spin it around to the other side. Then you grab, so when you push it up, then it should pop off the shaft a little bit. Then you can hopefully get something in here like I did and get up underneath that and go ahead and pull it straight up off the shaft. So we're ready for the next step. Recording? Alright, now since we got our clip off, we can pull the output shaft out. That's where the C-clip was. It went through the sprocket, C-clip went there, and that C-clip kept the shaft from coming out of the sprocket from down there. So once you can get this C-clip pressed up a little bit, then you can get a screwdriver in there and get this all the way off. So, and then we'll set this to the side. Shine down here, honey. This O-ring, as it come off, so the shaft with the chain and the sprocket will slide up through here. Okay, so this O-ring is what's keeping that shaft from coming all the way out. So now since I removed it, now we should be able to take this sprocket and this chain and this sprocket You'll be able to take it all the way out now. So that one O-ring that was at the end of that kept it from coming all the way out. So now your spring and sprockets are off. Alright, once you get your sprocket and chain off, there's two thrust washers on the back. Okay, be sure those are there. There's one there, and there's one here. So if they don't stick to this, they'll be on the casing. So just to let you know that there's two there. Alright, remove the oil scoop, which is right here. Go ahead and pull that straight up. Look, we got more broken pieces in here. Whoop, it fell down in there. And set it to the side. So that's the direction it's going to go, up and back. So it's going to go just like that. So, alright, you have your first drum here. What I did was I got under it right here with this little pry bar. Okay, here we go. The first one's coming out. So that's your first one. Just wiggle it out. Okay, there should be a thrust washer on the back side of that, and it looks like it's gone except for a little piece right here. So don't know where it's at. It looks like it could be part of the thrust washer that should be here because I don't see it here. Alright, this is the second input clutch assembly here. So, set this to the side. Alright, next we're going to take your reverse band out. Then your reverse reaction drum. The input carrier assembly. Just give me more work to do. Alright. Okay, got all that together. Okay. Fuck. Your other band. Get a little closer. Okay, take your snap ring out. And then your final drive. Final gear. You should have one bearing in there, at the very bottom. That's the last of everything out of the case.